order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dana, seconded by Mark, that we approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Number 3, approval of consent agenda, including the following. Approval of City Council meeting minutes of July 7th, 2025. B, approval of the bills and claims of which you have a copy. C, approval of pay estimate number 15 in the amount of $70,477.27 to Dean Snyder Construction for the Surf District Music Experience Center project. D, approval of change order number 7 in the amount of $93,624.96 for the Surf District Music Experience Center project. E, license and permits, liquor license, Lake Theater outdoor service privilege for the Class Car Show on August 2nd and Harvest Festival on October 4th, and street closure requests, Class Car Cruise and Car Show August 1st and 2nd, and Bash at the Lake August 9th. Motion please to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Creighton, seconded by Mark, that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. Now is the time and place for any citizen in the audience who wishes to address the council on any issue or item that is not on the agenda. Please approach the podium, state your name first and last, and give your address so the clerk can properly enter into the minutes. Welcome, Mike.
I'll get out of the way right away. Council, Mayor Crabb, and the first thing I want, Mike Callanan, 215 North Shore Drive. Mayor Crabb, I want to compliment you on your 20 years of great service to our community. And it was a great privilege on my part to be part of 16 of those years. So good job, and everyone's going to miss you. Thank you very much. All right, back on. I'll try real hard. I don't have any history lessons for you tonight. I know some of you councilmen will miss that, but I'm here on 2 different items. One of those, I've observed electric bicycles, scooters, skateboards, and some wheeled devices that have a couple of platforms on. I looked it up to try to figure out what they were called, and they said they were electric unicycles. Anyway, I've seen these things racing down the sidewalk on North Shore Drive. I mean, I'm pretty confident some of them were going 25 miles an hour. And some of them had 10-year-old kids on bicycles that were never pedaled, but they go real fast with the wide open throttle. My wife almost got run over by 2 kids on electric scooters trying to walk around the city park a while back. And my point is, I would suggest or hope you guys might discuss, guys and gals, excuse me, discuss the possibility of an ordinance that would prohibit these from sidewalks, especially in the downtown area or the major connecting walkways like North Shore Drive to the surf and such like that, because these are not meant to be on sidewalks. And I've somehow become a senior citizen, so I feel really strongly about this because I have a huge amount of foot traffic by my house, and many of them seem to be in my age category. So at least give that some discussion, because to me, it's getting to be a big problem. And I've witnessed it all summer sitting on my front porch. Now, the next thing I've got is one I brought up last fall. I'll try to be brief on it. I still feel there's plenty of congestion at the seawall area. I brought this as a potential discussion. I don't know if you ever got around to having a discussion on it, but I know for a while there was nothing done on it because they were waiting for, wait for it, the comprehensive report. Well, it showed up about 15, 16 months ago, And it had what I felt to be a really dumb idea, making that one way down there. But to me, by making that suggestion, they also saw that there might be a problem there. I mean, on a heavy weekend, there are just all kinds of problems with the big four-door pickups sticking out. I mean, it becomes one-way traffic. Now, I made a wild suggestion that this could be solved, and I even talked to the city engineer about it. I don't know, he might have talked to some of you about it along that line, but it seemed like one of the thoughts was they would lose some parking spaces, maybe 4. Did I come close on that? Well, almost every weekend we lose 46 parking spaces down there because it's closed off almost every weekend for some event. So losing 4 and making it parallel parking on the Lakeview room side, which to me would definitely solve this. Now, the other thing I observed, and I think you could too, all the way around the park, what's the configuration? Angle parking on one side of the street, parallel parking on the other side. The only place there's angle parking on both sides of the street is from the seawall side to the Lakeview room side. And it's just, I ride my bike through there almost daily. Now, going toward the south, not a problem. We made a bike lane. Coming back the other way, you got to navigate through, and it can be dangerous. I better shut up. I've used my 5 minutes, sorry. Thank you for your consideration. Have at it.
Thanks, Mike. We'll take all that under advisement. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Okay, move on to unfinished business. A, ITC Midwest Electric Transmission Franchise Renewal. We need the second reading of motion to approve ordinance number 891, an ordinance granting ITC Midwest Electric Transmission Franchise Agreement. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Beth Ann, that we approve ordinance number 891 on the second of 3 readings. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Mark.
Yes.
Creighton.
Yes.
Beth Ann.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
And Dana.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0, and that is approved on the second reading. 6, new business. 6A, 2025 street and utility improvements, contract number 1, review of bid letting of July 17th, 2025, and recommendation to make an award of contract by Jason Petersburg, professional engineer with V&K. Welcome, Jason. It's been a long time. Appreciate your being here.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Well, it was underestimate, so I told Matt I'd explain tonight. When they're overestimate, he can explain.
It's not good you haven't been here in a while.
2 resolutions for Council's consideration tonight. The first is a resolution adopting plan specs, form a contract, and estimate of cost for the 2025 street and utility improvements. Second being the resolution making award a contract. Quick reminder on the project scope: curb and gutter patching in the Highland Drive area. That's 19th Street, 18th, 17th, 6th Avenue, West 7th Avenue, and then Highland Drive are all the street segments where we're doing curb and gutter patching. Primarily it's to address drainage issues. We're not doing it for aesthetics for the most part. It's where there's ponding issues. There's some very flat areas in that neighborhood. Project also includes a little bit of storm sewer piping, 4 new storm sewer intakes, and then quite a bit of new water main and services. We'll be getting all new water main along 17th and 18th Street West, West 6th Avenue North, and then Highland Drive as well. There's been a lot of water main breaks in that neighborhood over the year, which is the driver behind this project. So not included with the project or with this contract is the asphalt resurfacing work. Plan is to bid that as a separate project, and that'll be constructed next summer. The total estimated construction cost was $1,302,755. Last Thursday was the bid opening for the project. 2 bids were received from the 17 contractors who requested plans. Honestly, I expected a couple of more bids on this project, so I did call and talk to a couple of the contractors. If you're familiar with the neighborhood, there are some challenges there. There's not a straight segment. There are a lot of curves, and our right-of-way is a little bit narrower. So it is a challenging project in that regard. It's not gonna be your big excavators you see. It's gonna be more of your mid-sized to small-sized machines. And there's not gonna be a lot of production on a daily basis. It's gonna be a slower moving project just to work with the property owners around all the utilities, around the curves, etc. So, low bid received was from Brian Nettleton Excavating in the amount of $1,241,245.40, which is 4.7% less than the engineer's opinion of probable cost. So we do recommend awarding that contract to Brian Nettleton Excavating. And I did talk to him today, should we move forward with this? He's thinking September sometime is when he would like to get moving on it. So, any questions?
Any questions for Jason? You just said it'd start sometime early September?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, council, for Jason? Thanks, Jason. Now is the time and place for the public hearing with regard to the 2025 street and utility improvements for Contract 1. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to address that, please approach the podium, state your name first and last, and give your address so the clerk may properly enter to the minutes. None appearing, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on 2025 street and utility improvements. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Beth Ann, seconded by Dana, that we close the public hearing with regard to 2025 street and utility improvements. Contract 1. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. And now I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2524. And council, this is in your packet, green sheets. This is a resolution adopting plan specs, form of contract, estimate of cost for the 2025 street and utility improvements Contract 1. Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Mark, seconded by Creighton, that we approve Resolution 2524. Is there any discussion? Roll call, Creighton.
Yes.
Beth Ann.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Dana.
Yes.
And Mark.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2524 is duly adopted. And now I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2525, a resolution making an awarded contract for the 2025 street utility improvements. And this is with Nettleton Contracting in the amount of $1,241,245.40. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dana, seconded by Beth Ann, that we approve Resolution 2525. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Beth Ann.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Dana.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
And Creighton.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2525 is duly adopted. And B, purchase of hybrid 2025 Ford Police Interceptor utility for the police department. Review of competitive quotes by Captain Brandon Hines. Welcome, Captain.
Hello. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Basically, the department is seeking approval to purchase a hybrid 2025 Ford Police Interceptor utility from Pritchard's of Clear Lake for $47,849. This vehicle is part of a 3-vehicle replacement that we're looking to do in fiscal year 2026. We received budget funding for this. Essentially, once the vehicle is purchased and outfitted, we'll transition the decommissioned patrol vehicle that it's replacing to another city department for use if needed. If not needed, we'd look at public auction and hopefully receive between $13,000 and $18,000 at auction for that. Some of the competitive bids we received were from Stivers Ford, the amount of $48,939, and that was the state bid price. Pritchard's came in at about $1,100 less than that, so in our attempt to stay local with the purchase, we'd like to purchase the vehicle from Pritchard's.
Questions for Captain? Thank you, Captain. Council, therefore, I entertain a motion to approve purchase of a hybrid 2025 Ford Police Interceptor utility for the police department from Pritchard Auto in Clear Lake in the amount of $47,849. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Creighton, that we approve purchase of the hybrid 2025 Ford Police Interceptor utility for the Clear Lake PD. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. And right back at you again, Captain.
All right.
Chief of Police, Captain's report.
Sure. Nothing major to report. We've had some successful events uptown as far as crowd control and traffic and that sort of thing with Brews on the Beach, the regatta. Also this past weekend with the Lions Barbecue and the Antique Boat Show. Everything seemed to go really well there. We're still in the middle of our process of finding a new community service officer. We're going through the applications and getting that squared away. So that's really about it. So, any questions?
And our next big event will be
Our cruise
our
and
cruise.
show.
Okay, all right.
So,
Any further questions, comments for Captain?
Say really quickly, Captain, that I was part of watching you work on traffic yesterday for the barbecue, and you did an
Right.
amazing job of getting everybody organized and
appreciate it.
the roundabout down there by the surf district, so thank you.
You bet.
Well done. Thank you, Captain.
Thanks.
Public Work Director's report. Jeremy, no longer here today? Anybody have any comments on the mosquito spraying, good, bad, or indifferent? It is happening, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay. What about any further comments back on, Matt, you can take this too, on the Main Street yards, grass, lawns?
I have not.
So it's,
It's not great. I own 2 homes and it didn't turn out well.
even from last meeting to this meeting?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it something different I'm thinking?
Oh, yeah. No, you weren't here last meeting.
Yeah, I wasn't here
Okay,
last meeting.
Okay, okay. So other than that, you haven't had any comments. All right, I don't need to bring up anything.
Just Dana's.
Yeah,
No, right?
it's very green and weedy.
It's green.
City Engineer Report, Mr. Stedding, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Just go through a few items here. Since Jason stole the one piece of thunder that I had, Scott always used to do that. So, South Shore Estates, 10 of those 14 twin homes have been built out there. 6 of them, to my knowledge, have been sold. So those are moving along, and then Brian Ridge is just getting started on another 2 that are being built right now. And then also, of the single-family residential lots, there's 16 out there, and I have heard that 4 of them are supposed to get started on the building process. So we'll see how that goes along, and it's nice to see some progress moving out there. Emerald Cove, 4 of the twin homes out there going up, and there's another one gonna be getting dug. So that project's moving along nice. MEC, finishing up just some last-minute items on the punch list and gonna get ready to have that one completely punched out here pretty quick. I know we just had that, hopefully last remaining change order go through on that project. Streetscape, moving full forward on the project down there. We're getting all of the permeable paver crosswalks established, and all of those are gonna be wrapping up here. We're working through North Shore right now and Buddy Holly, and then we're gonna be doing 7th next Monday. We're starting that. And then we'll finish mid-August with 6th Avenue. So that'll be good to get that going. And we're gonna be going up on by the railroad tracks, gonna get the plaza area established up there. Jason's gonna be staking that here tomorrow, hopefully. And we're gonna start construction on the edge band and finish up the piers. And then, as I've been told, hopefully towards the end of August, we're gonna have a big fancy gateway structure to set up on that project. So I know everybody's been looking forward to that, Mark especially. So that'll be good to get that going. And besides that, just the chamber building, I'm sure Stace is gonna talk on that here in a second, but that is moving along nicely. DSC is gonna be setting steel for the first floor on that here, gonna start tomorrow. So they'll be working on that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so that'll be good to see that going up. And then just a few little roadway patching that I'm doing over by the Liquid Grow. They're getting that new site plan and everything built there, so just some minor updates to the road there. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot else. You guys have any questions for me? I'd be happy to answer.
Maybe you just said it, but 7th Avenue, has that been patched over?
7th Avenue.
Seventh.
7th Avenue, where the actual sewer services
Yeah.
took place, that is not yet, that's gravel, but we're gonna be getting in there this week and we'll be patching that section of roadway back up.
Yeah. Me and my truck about fell in the hole.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Anything else? Questions, Council? Thanks, Matt. Your sheet of work. Director of Finance, Administrative Services Report, Mr. Jacob.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just a couple things here quick tonight. So the first thing is back in January, if you guys remember, I think it was that first meeting in January, so January 6th, we entered into a pre-development agreement with Market Point out of White Bear Lake up in the Twin Cities, and George Jansen, the principal there. And so they've been looking at a potential hotel out there east of the Mech, where the old Hilltop Hotel was, and before that, way back in the day, was the Oaks Hotel. So they've been working through their feasibility on it, coming up with a site concept, and they've developed their site concept and gone through their feasibility, and so they're ready to present their findings to the public. So that we can get general public feedback prior to council acting on anything. So they're going to hold 2 public input sessions. They're going to be on August 11th and August 13th. They will both be held at the new Music Experience Center over there on the top level. And they'll be held at 6 p.m. on both of those days. They'll be identical meetings, but just to give the public the opportunity to attend and to see where they've come out with a project on that, and just to get the general public's input on it. So they'll be doing a short presentation at 6 o'clock, followed by some Q&A, and then just an opportunity for people to interact and see where the project's at on that. So I would encourage you guys to attend, and then I'd also encourage the general public to attend to see where that project's at, and to provide feedback on it. The other thing I had is last week our Clear Project coordinator notified me that he is going to be resigning as of the end of the month here. When he came on board, he had quit his full-time job and was doing this part-time and was going to farm part-time as well. And so he, due to some changes with family on the farming, he's going to go to farming full-time. So sad to see him go. He's done a good job for us here. So just so you guys know, we will be looking to fill that position then up in the upcoming months. So that's all I have, unless you guys have questions for me.
Questions for Jacob? Thanks, Jacob. Under Mayor's report, question, and Jen, I should have asked you this before. I'm not putting you on the spot, but with the municipal band and the plaque for Mr. Wanberg. We're waiting. Matt?
The plaque is, Jim is looking for that, over at Public Works, and then we'll get that put up.
Okay.
Is this the week for, this is the weekend for the last performance, I believe, coming
I
up?
think it is the last
Yeah.
weekend for performances.
I've listened to them, believe it or not, a couple of times, and it's
And
a,
you have seen, you are aware that the big plaque and everything has been installed on the outside, on the
Mhm.
north side of the.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah, okay, that's okay, they got, Stacy? Welcome.
I didn't make it last time. It was the Monday after 4th of July week, and I don't know that I actually made it out of bed that day. So I was pretty tired. I went to work. I just didn't make it here. So I thought I'd give you a few numbers now that we know what the data looks like for the 4th of July. So looking at the overall 5-day celebration and the number of visitors who came into Clear Lake, Ventura, and the county area, we were looking at 131,000 people came into Clear Lake. The parade itself saw 19,300 people, which is the best parade we've had since before the pandemic. So it's nice to see that finally return back to its pre-pandemic numbers. And then in City Park, on the 4th of July itself, there were over 22,000 people in City Park, and that is the best single day attendance in City Park that we've ever had. And that was reflected in the carnival revenue on that day too. Saturday hurt us a little bit with all of the rain on the big night with Arch Allies, and so our carnival revenue was down a little bit, but not terrible. It wasn't anything concerning at all. So pretty on par with last year, one of the best 5-day stretches that we've had since before 2020. So very exciting about that. Thursdays on Main, we continue to battle the weather week after week. I mean, we've tried rain, shine, now tornado, trying to have the event. We're going to just keep marching on, and hopefully we get a few more great weeks to finish that series out. I know you mentioned police and coordination of all of the traffic controls and that sort of thing, but I would say our event execution has been just really smooth. Appreciate all the support that we're getting from the city, Public Works, and then the collaboration with the PD to make sure we have our ducks in a row when it comes to road closures and traffic control. You mentioned the building. Yep, we're going vertical, so we didn't think we closed the roads enough, so we want to close them again so we can start building and going up. So that's an exciting time for us. We're hopefully going to make up a little bit of time that we've lost with all of the rain. But that's all I have tonight, unless you have any questions.
The fund is increasing slowly, or?
Yeah, yep,
Good,
yep.
good.
Chipping away at it.
That's great. That's great. Any other comments, questions, council, for that? Well, it was a great 4th, and
It was good.
you weren't here last week, so we did discuss the 4th, and we all felt that it was well run, well policed.
Yep.
There are a lot of people here. I think I used some figures that you had given me prior to that, but now they've gone up. That's good.
Yeah.
And they can be authenticated by the fact that they are taken on ordinary cell phones. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
cell phone tracking
Yeah, so
information, yep.
People out there can know we aren't standing there counting one.
No, I mean, that sounds like a good job, though. Mike, you want to help me count the parade attendees next year?
Yeah.
No, I mean, we sat down at the parade after driving down the parade route, and I said, there are 20,000 people here. And then I pulled the data, and it was 19.3, and I was like, I'm getting good at this. We don't even need to pay for the service anymore.
Mental telepathy.
I
that's what
guess
it's
so.
supposed to be. Yeah.
Anyway, thank
No,
you.
great job, thank you. Chad is not here tonight, okay. Under City Administrator's Report, Mr. Deers, and today the papers were signed, and tomorrow it becomes the heavy lifting, right?
You're beating, that's my report,
sorry.
not yours. That's my closer. No, yes. So yes, today was the big day. We closed on our house this morning. So got that done, and then tomorrow is moving day, so I need you guys to show up about 9:30, that'd be great, and, no. The weather looks like it's gonna be cooperative at first, it's gonna be iffy maybe if it's gonna be rainy or not, but, we do have a moving company and most of their stuff is enclosed, so we should be in good shape. So looking forward to getting that process done, and family, kids, and everybody's excited, as am I, of course. That being said, it's getting acquainted with city staff and local partners. It's been a great first couple of weeks. Can't believe it's been 2 weeks already. Did a park tour last week with Jim and Fire EMS. Jacob and I went through with Chief Meyer and company. And Chief Colby and I had lunch last week, talked about the police department some. So I got water and public works tours set up for next week, and we'll just keep knocking that out. And I'll just say Jacob and Jennifer and Matt and the staff, everybody's been really great and helped me get acclimated up to speed on various projects and things, so I appreciate that. Just a couple things to mention. We met and talked a little bit about the chamber project happening today, and so we talked about some city incentives and what we're doing. We're doing the forgivable loan piece. Initially, there was some talk about doing a tax rebate, to be discussed at a later point. Well, I think we're at that later point to really kind of start having that discussion, so we kind of started having that conversation a little bit today. And then we also had a meeting this afternoon with SEH and the 4th Avenue project, and so that's something we'll come back and talk about a little bit more, because we saw that presentation 2 weeks ago of what it would look like and everything involved with that. Now that there's the initial scope of that project was pretty minimal. It was restriping. Ultimately it became something with bike paths, some roundabouts, so on and so forth. So there's going to be a little additional administrative costs in designing that as well. That's above what we've initially laid out there. So something that we'll all be looking at here coming up in one of our meetings in the future. I guess I'll just say got to golf in the chamber event on Friday. I had an incredibly long putt that somebody beat me on that. I still can't believe it. And so we got to give Creighton a hard time because he bailed on us. So it was just Mayor, Mark, and I. But that 4th swing came in handy, so we thought about you in spirit.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Yeah, we prayed for you, Creighton, and
It worked, here I am, thank you.
I can't believe you missed so many shots, though.
any questions, comments for Steve? That being said, meeting adjourned. Thank you.